Hi guys, it's Ray. Today we're starting a new cup project. I have this base painted, with a gold metallic spray paint because I'm going to be working with micas, and if you've ever put micas on a tumbler, you know they like to pull away at the top and the bottom. So I didn't want white. So I'm going to apply a very thin layer of epoxy to begin with. So while this is spinning and leveling out, I have 3 little cups now. I sectioned off 2 cups and then applied, so now I have my third. I'm going to work with this 36 color mica powders kit that Let's Resin sent to me. There's a ton of colors in here. I'm not going to go through them all. Oops. Yeah, there's a lot. So I picked 3 out. There's not a true red in here. They have crimson, but to me this looks pinkish. I also did notice, and I don't really go by names anyways, I go by color, but I swear every time I get something from a company it has a minor issue, and this one's minor issue was I have 2 labeled watermelon. This one is clearly not watermelon. This one is. So, I don't know what the actual color name of this one is. I would imagine some kind of a gold, but it's not a matching gold to this, so I'm not going to use that one. I just thought that was funny because it always happens to me. There's always something, always. So I'm going to use the dark green, which is kind of like a jade color, for one of my micas. And I normally like to put the mica in the cup first, but because of the way I was recording this, that wasn't going to happen. I like to put the mica in the bottom and then the resin on top. So I'm just going to mix this up. That was a gorgeous green. This is going to be a Christmas in July cup, so keep that in mind as I go along here. And I'm going to use copper for my metallic. And then I have wine, which I'm going to put in. I may end up adding some of the crimson or maybe even a black. I haven't decided. I'm going to see what color this mixes to. My image I'm using has a very bright red and a dark green, but I want them to contrast a little bit. So this is gorgeous as it is, so I think I'm going to use it even if it's going to slightly clash with the red. So what I'm going to do is just a very basic swirl. A little more green in my cup, so I'm going to grab a little bit more. And my cup is very unlevel, I can tell by the way the bottom is shaping up. But I'm going to grab my heat gun. I'm not going to give it a ton of heat. I'm going to give it high fan, and I'm going to start moving this. So I'm going to mute the video and fast forward it. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more of my color out of my cups. and some of these bare spots. And I do have a couple spots where my base layer of epoxy didn't get in there, so it looks like fish eyes, but it's not. It was actually like a bare spot on the cup to begin with. So I'm going to fill those in by hand in a second. And then I'm going to tilt a little bit. But I'm loving the way this is looking so far. Actually, I'm going to see if I can just fill those spots with the copper. The micas don't blend as much as like an alcohol ink would together, so you can almost in a way swirl them closer together, like colors that wouldn't necessarily go together without them getting muddied. If that makes sense. Like where the red and the green are running together, they're not muddling so much like you might get with inks. So if you had to do, say, a purple and a green cup together, I would suggest micas versus inks. Because if purple and green ink get together, you end up with a very unattractive brown. Okay, so I'm going to hit it with a little bit more heat. I'm going to tilt it while I heat it, and I am just going to let it go at that point. Okay, so I am going to get this moved over to a different turner, let it do its full spin and dry, and it's turning towards me now, so I'm going to switch it the opposite direction when I move it to another turner and get it leveled. So we will be back when this coat is dry and ready for its decal. Okay, so this is ready for its decal. Came out super cute. I don't particularly love this little area, so that's where I'm going to put my decal. So we have some little Christmas gnomes. Hopefully this will be getting posted on July 25th for, you know, a true Christmas in July, since I missed the initial deadline. This did have a lot of little fussy cuts in it, so it may have missed some in the weeding. But that's okay. And the colors might not be a perfect match, but again, that's okay. And I need to calibrate my machine. I haven't done that in a very long time, and I honestly do not remember how. So I'm looking for my pin pen. Or some kind of a weeding tool. Just because I do want to get these little white pieces out. Because they will cause it to not stick. I think I still have a little piece of white on the back. Okay. Much better. There. So this image came from Creative Fabrica. I will link it down below. And we are going to get over and get some resin on this. I don't think I'm going to add any additives to it. I think I'm just going to let it be as is. So I will meet you at the turner. Okay, my epoxy is mixed up and ready to go. If I'm a little blurry, I apologize. The lens on my camera is cracked. One of the 6 this phone has. And sometimes it affects things, sometimes it doesn't. But replacing it is not exactly in my budget right now. So we're just going to have to deal with it for a while and hope for the best. I don't really want to go back to recording on my own phone, old phone, because storage is an issue on that one. So I'm doing the best I can here. I really am. But I can't tell if it's just lighting because of the time of day right now or what the problem is. That little piece of wood I got on there. So I may end up with a little bit of this poking up in my first coat here, just because of where those little bits had to be weeded out. But they'll get covered in a next layer, so I'm not terribly concerned about them. But I'm going to go ahead and torch it real quick and get you guys a close-up, and we will be essentially done with this cute little Christmas in July Gnomes cup. Yeah, a little thin spot right there. These micas actually behave really well in the resin. I'm pretty pleased with this overall. And I haven't had any new micas in a very long time, so that's always fun. Alright, so I'm going to pull my turner out from under here and bring the cup up. So there are the cute gnomes. And the beautiful swirl. I don't know if I can tip this enough to see the bottom, but it's just a swirl. So that is it for this one. Happy Christmas in July, and I will see you in the next one.